My name is Kaleb and
My name is Askia Stewart Jr.
And this is our Generation Y project. We wanted to kind of highlight the millennial generation and kind of hit on stuff that a lot of people overlook, because we do get a bad reputation and we do get the kind of get the persona that we are detached from the world because we are so into our phones, into our social media and all that kind of stuff. And we kind of wanted to just hit on the positive parts of our generation, because there is so much that we are doing and so much that we continue to do that not a lot of people see, and we are making a huge difference.
We wanted to give a voice to our generation, and so we thought it would be awesome to ask a few questions to a handful of randomly selected people, in which we conducted interviews and we just had conversations. No technology, none of that, and so except for the camera. And we thought it'd be authentic to just have a conversation and see what happens.
Yeah, so we have a total of what?
17
people. One kid in high school, 15 in college.
Yeah.
And then, or I guess of college age.
Mm-hmm.
And then one who just graduated and he's pursuing a career in basketball. So I mean, we have a pretty diverse group, and thanks for taking the time to check it out.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
Peace!
I'm a former student of Grand Canyon University, and I am now going to pursue a professional career in Madrid, Spain. I'm going to play basketball.
I do track, gymnastics, and I dance for DV. I go to Arizona State University. I'm majoring in digital marketing, and I have a minor in Chinese.
A minor in Chinese? Can you speak a little bit like right now?
No! I mean, I can, but it's...
how do you say hello?
Ni hao.
That's what I'm talking about. Ni hao. That's what I'm talking about.
I go to University of Richmond in Virginia. I'm there playing baseball. I love sports, anything to do with competing. I play the piano.
Right now I'm at Sioux Falls, University of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, playing football up there. I'm studying criminology and psychology.
I feel like there's a lot of different types of happy. So like family happy, like achievements happy. So I don't know, my happiest moment was probably making the national team, being able to represent my country, and I don't know, that time I had with my mom when I got the call.
My happiest moment would probably also be related to cancer, but after my 4th treatment, they wanted to do a check to make sure all of my cancer was gone, and then they would continue with 2 more treatments just to wipe everything out. And my happiest moment was when she came in and told me my PET scan was clear and that the baseball-sized tumor was completely gone.
I think just one match, I just remember her being like, I'll always be here for you. Like, you're growing up so great, and it's like just her like giving me that confirmation. I remember that in middle school was after a wrestling match. I was just probably like, she's like, you can do anything. Like, you can run for president. Like, anything's possible in your hands. Mm-hmm. And she'll just make sure you take it and run with it. Mm-hmm. And that's probably something that I've kind of always put in the back of my head. Mm-hmm.
Actually, the happiest moment of my life so far would probably have to be when my older cousin Anthony, who everyone knows in this top gang, got to move in with us. I feel like that really helped me a lot. That gave me like that gave me someone I can look up to, like older brother. So like, and when everyone asks me, that's what I tell me is my older brother. So I feel like that really changed my life. So I look at that as like probably the happiest moment. Yeah.
It'll twitch this way. But if it hits this one, it doesn't do anything.
It's kind of weird.
But that one does.
This is pretty weird. I don't think I've told anyone this before, really, but almost every single night before I go to bed, like no matter where I'm at, or whether it was in my room at home or in my place that I lived in last year, I can't go to sleep unless I check in my closet. I check my closet every night before I go to bed.
Quirky. This.
Just a good guy, big-hearted,
you know, caring.
I think the mark I want to leave is that women are people too, and I would like to consider myself sophisticated, well-educated. I'm not some sort of ditzy blonde that is just expecting a guy to take her out and like be a homemaker. Like, I want something bigger for myself, and I'm headstrong and determined.
Even if I'm with that person for 10 minutes, just want that person to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I like him, I like the way he carries himself.
It's cliche, but honest. Just, you know, that I was never the guy that was gonna tell you what you wanted to hear or what I thought you wanted to hear, you know. If you ask me a question, you can expect to at least get back what I honestly believe to be the truth. And if it's something that I don't know anything about, I'm not gonna just talk to you like it is. I'm gonna tell you I don't know.
It comes back to, again, loving Christ so much that you want to be a light to others. In this world that we live in, it's a dark place and easily get lost in, but just if you can brighten someone's day so much that it's just like they think positively about you and they can start to question like what's going on in that guy's life, that can open doors for a lot of other things. So just being a light on top of the hill.
But I think the younger generation doesn't struggle with that quite as much, you know. Like, I've been friends with AJ and KJ for a long time, and it's like we understand that there's differences in our lives or in our cultures and how we were raised, but there's, you know, we're okay with that.
But it does baffle me that people don't think it exists. And so I think definitely with the younger generations, they're looking at it now. And if they're raised in a family that, you know, loves everyone and is going for that equality, that we're moving forward. But I think it's definitely something that we need to focus on and not leave unturned.
I think race is huge right now, and people are kind of trying to downplay it, which you definitely cannot, because there are issues that need to be taken care of.
It more comes down to the person you see in the mirror every morning. And I think that's the biggest problem with society right now, is that we're all pointing fingers at each other, and we're forgetting there's 4 more fingers pointing right back at us.
It's become more prevalent. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I just still don't understand how people just can't accept each other.
You know, until we get to the point where we're not teaching our kids that you're different than I am, we're not going to get anywhere. Yeah. So I think that once we're able to look past that and just, you know, be one as society and as a human race, then we're going to be great.
Because it's similar to how I feel about how people look at minorities in our area. If it's not as prominent around you, it's easier to ignore. And there's nothing easier to ignore than prisoners. You know, it's easy to assume, oh, if you're in prison, you're a worse guy than me. You don't deserve any of my tax money or any whatever it is. But just, you know, you can't generalize like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think war is kind of one of those things where it's like it has to be done, but so many things can be prevented from us going to war.
He used to be in the Army, and he's very pro-Army, like die-hard. And living with him kind of showed me that if we didn't have the strong military and the strong defense system that our country has, then we would be, like, the peacemakers can't keep the peace. You have to have a strong defense to maintain a safe country, so.
And now we're at this point where it's totally oversaturated. We totally care too much, and we are starting to put more into that than we are when we're outside, you know? Yeah. And it's just like, in my, that time I had by myself, I realized I could easily sit in my dorm by myself and be on Twitter all day, or like Tumblr, or like whatever else. And I was like, no, like, put your phone down, don't bring it with you, go outside and do stuff. You don't have to post it, you know, like, I just like pretty much reminded myself that like it's separate, you know.
I guess our biggest asset is technology, honestly. I've met some of my best friends through social media. I've been able to market myself, get clients, start my own business, and I'm only 18.
I don't think they understand our complexity. I don't think they understand, what Generation Y is. I don't think they've really taken the time to sit back and think about, the position that we're in to do so much.
I think that they think that we're so focused on those things that we don't care what really matters. But I think that the thing is that I think we all care more about what really matters than all the social media and all that. And I think that that's what they don't see.
I think our generation holds a lot of promise and potential to what can come.
And now we're at this place where we have these social media monsters and like smartphones and streaming and like all these things that are flipping the world upside down that never existed before. But we grew up with these changes, so we're accepting them easier, but we also still remember how it was like right before that. So I think we're in this special place where it's kind of up to us to make sure that the new things happening don't ruin everything.